State of the Union of the President at 9:30. So I'm hoping that we can be finished by then.
That's right.
Let the record reflect that it is 7:09 today on this January 28, 2014. The meeting is starting. Good evening. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Stahel.
Here.
Vice Mayor Galvin.
Here.
Mayor Thundell.
Yes.
Councilman Bieneme.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Keys.
She's here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Let us stand. We're going to, for the Pledge of Allegiance. It will be led by Elizabeth Estrada from Johnson & Wales, and I will ask you to remain standing for the invocation from
Good evening.
Cheryl Sejour.
Good evening, everyone, council and residents. My name is Elizabeth Estrada, and I am the student body president at Johnson & Wales University, majoring in criminal justice. Now, if you may please raise your right hand and place over your chest. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Now, if we may remain standing for the invocation.
Honorable Mayor, Council, City staff. To the King eternal, immortal, invisible, the only wise and true God, we honor your presence in this council chamber tonight. And we pray, Lord, that you who are all wise would bestow wisdom upon every decision that is made in this chamber tonight for the good of our beautiful city of North Miami. We thank you that the wisdom that comes from you is good and right and is good for all people. And so we ask your blessing of your presence where there is unity and honor tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Mr. Manager, are there any addition and deletion to the agenda?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, from the agenda, we respectfully request to remove tab K, as in kilo, tab K. That's the only change.
Any particular reason why you want to remove it?
In our research, there was already an appointment made. Councilwoman Sturl was appointed.
By who?
Mayor Andre Pierre.
Last year.
Last year. And it hasn't been a full year, so it's...
It has not been 1 year?
I don't think it's been a year.
Madam Attorney, can you explain to us? How does it work with the League of Cities?
I'm not actually sure, Mayor, but I believe it's a yearly appointment that's appointed by the mayor or voted on by the council.
Yes.
But I'm really
Let
not
me ask
sure.
Vice Mayor Galvin, how does it work? Do you know?
Oh, no. I have no use for the Miami-Dade League of Cities, so
That's not nice.
I've been very, when they wanted to when FPL pushed to put those giant power poles down 135th Street through our neighborhoods, and our citizens had concerns, Miami-Dade League of Cities was nowhere to be heard when we needed them. So
I see.
I turn a blind eye to them.
Okay. Because we did receive a letter from November the 20th asking us to appoint someone. Therefore, there's a problem in terms of the time frame, and I need to understand it very well. Madam Deputy Manager, can you explain to me why is this we cannot do an appointment after November?
Mayor, Luman Claude, Deputy City Manager. Madam Mayor, at the agenda review meeting the manager have asked staff to look into it to the appointment, and that's what we found, that Councilwoman Steele was appointed.
No, I know
And at this
Councilwoman Steele
point-
was appointed. I'm asking you, where, your research, where did you see that we cannot do any appointment until next November? I'm
Because
just trying to find out where you found it, because I did some research as well, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
At this point, from the League of City, her name has been pointed on all the correspondence as the city representative.
Madam Mayor, may I?
Sure.
I make a motion to resign from that position.
That's not what we're asking for, madam.
But that's
I'm
what
just trying
that's
to
what I'm saying.
understand
No, it's
how
okay.
it goes. I'm trying to understand if there's anything, if there have been, if there's a law that says that, if it's in writing, because I searched after I spoke with you, Madam Deputy Manager, I couldn't find it anywhere in the League of City sites. That's why I'm asking you, where did you find it? Or I would have just called them tomorrow in Tallahassee and asked the question, because I couldn't find it. And you know, I don't mind reappointing Councilwoman Steele. It's just like, I would like to understand where it's coming from. For me, it has to be logic. That's all.
Mayor, Councilman Glenn was appointed in the past. I did learn from staff that we looked at prior council meetings, and once the appointment was made, they didn't change. It's not just
That was by choice.
that.
So there's no law that says that.
Absolutely.
Okay, my
So-
point is, if you guys are going to give us informations, make sure that they are well documented, because I will go and search, which I did this afternoon, and I'm not too pleased with the answers that I've got. I have absolutely no problem if it's the wish of Councilwoman Steele to stay as a representative of this body, if everybody says yes, for us to reappoint her, except that I'd like to have the proper information. When I take decisions, I take an educated decision. That's all I'm asking.
Sure.
Can the city clerk say
And
something?
I still stand to resign from the position, Madam Mayor.
Well, that's something else. We will come to it later. But now, it's...
Are we removing it from tonight's agenda, or are we leaving it on tonight's agenda?
Well, we're gonna remove it from
see-
tonight's agenda for it to be reappeared on the next agenda where we can discuss this.
So, Madam City Attorney, if a board member or if a council was appointed to a board, what is the process if you would like to resign from the board?
So I am not familiar with the rules and regulations of the League of Cities. I'll be happy to research that and advise you for the next meeting, because I don't know how they function in terms of their board and
But
how
I
one
don't
is
think that it has
appointed.
nothing to do with them. It has to do with us, because we're the one that actually up here, or the mayor actually the one that's supposed to appoint a board member. But once the mayor appointed a board member, or if the member is still currently a board member, so what is the process that we have in the city for a board member actually to resign from that position?
For city boards,
Not city
I-
boards.
It's not a city board.
right, it's not a
So what
city
are
board.
the-
I can advise you of how one resigns from a city board. I can advise you of the protocol for how you decide, make a vote, and
what is
so
the-
on and so
what is the
forth. But
protocol?
I don't know what the protocol is for the League of Cities, is what I'm expressing to you.
Okay, you
So
can
I
research
can-
it
I
and
can
can come
find
back to
out.
us next board meeting with
I
the
mean,
proper
certainly if
information.
if someone doesn't want to serve on a board, then, you know, there's no requirement that they serve on the board, right? So if that's the councilwoman's wish, then I would imagine that that's going to stand.
Why don't
Yes,
you
it is.
research it and bring us the proper information?
Okay, I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you. Special presentation?
We're waiting for you to tell us what to do, Mr. Clerk. Excuse me?
I knew it was going to happen someday. Gentlemen, when you want to, sometimes. Good evening again. Today it's a wonderful day. As you see, the room is full of people. It's because we have some special presentations to make, and I am so excited for our people that we are going to recognize tonight. Let's start with the recognition of National Mentoring Month to the North Miami Mentor Program. You know, we do have that in the city. It was established in 1994 by former Councilwoman Janet Carr and North Miami Middle School Administrator Jesse Collins. The City of North Miami Mentor Program was created to offer adult role models to the middle school students through positive interactions. This program had expanded to include partnership with communities in school, which offers an in-school support system for the students and mentor programs such as ours. Through this program, full-time city employees meet with students, and I've seen many of them, and create positive working relationship with students. This school year, the City of North Miami has 12 active mentors participating in the program, working with approximately 20 students. I'm calling representatives from communities in school to receive certificate in honor of the National Mentoring Month. I invite all mentors and mentees in attendance to come up for a photograph with myself and the council. Come on, guys.
No flash. I was very proud. My iPad shouldn't be Thank you very much. My pleasure. Thank you. Congratulations.
We also have another group to recognize tonight. Is the Financial Wellness Month to Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. We know we're getting to a period where all of us have to tell Uncle Sam how much we make, how much we didn't make, and the VITA program offers free tax assistance to qualifying individuals and families who earn $51,000 or less. IRS certified volunteers provide free basic income tax return preparation with electronic filing. Volunteers speak English, Haitian Creole, and Spanish. The VITA site provides the community with answers to tax-related questions and informations. Valuable federal tax credits, such as the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is the one everybody likes. Assistance is also provided to the FAFSA from college students seeking financial aid. The program is available every Tuesday and Thursday from February the 4th until April 10, 2014, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Sunkist Grove Community Center, which is located at 12500 Northwest 13th Avenue. I invite the IRS representative to come up and accept the certificate from the council and mayor. Of IRS? Conflict of interest?
Right? Exactly.
Councilwoman Keys, I can't see you. Sir, if you could just come and stand here, because we can barely see you. And then, Madam Keys. Okay, thank you, right here. And then just, no, right there, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, right here. Okay, that. Better. One, two, three. Everybody look up and smile. Thank you very much.
Very good. The third recognition is Financial Wellness Month to Bank of America Kids Youth Financial Literacy Program. In partnership with Bank of America, the City of North Miami has launched an 8-week youth financial literacy program. This program promotes youth empowerment through financial literacy and healthy social skills vital to the establishing of productive citizens. It allows North Miami youth the opportunity to interact with experienced banking counselors and financial advisors who teach them financial stewardship skills. At the end of the program, participants receive a gift in the amount of $25 or $50 to create a saving account or a CD account. North Miami anticipates 100 to 125 youth participants in the first year of the program. At this point, I'm inviting representatives from Bank of America to receive the certificate, and I also invite participants from Bank of America Kids to join us for a photograph picture.
Not displaying your shirts.
This kind of go on both sides. I got a little red on this side, little red on that side.
This is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Where do y'all go to school?
You guys don't be shy like we're back. You guys don't be shy.
Where you going?
Okay.
Miami Senior High, and you? Bedford, yeah. They're big. Some of them are from
Thank you, Derek.
Aspira and
Okay, everybody. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, say cheese. Cheese. Can we get one closer? A little closer. All right. Again on 3, 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
no. Okay. Okay. Yes. As well. Okay. The next recognition is to North Miami Beach Senior High School Marching Band, winning band from the 30th Annual Wintership Thanksgiving Day Parade. I invite the Parks and Recreation Department staff and the North Miami Marching Band for this recognition. The North Miami Beach Charger Band is comprised of 80 students, I know they're not here now, that come from a school population of around 1,900 students. The principal is Randy Milliken. The band director is James Lockhart. This marching band recently received a superior rating at this year's FBA Matching Band Evaluation. In the past 4 years, the band has been the only invited band to perform at the Drumline Live play base of the movie. The marching band also hosts a food drive during Thanksgiving and a toy drive during winter holidays. The North Miami Beach Marching Band was selected as the winning band at the 39th Annual Winter National Thanksgiving Day Parade right here in the city of North Miami. With this distinction of the City of North Miami Parks and Recreation Department, we will present them an award and a check of the amount of $550. This is the real check.
A little uneasy. Nancy, do you want to go? Okay. Figure this out. Perfect. All right. Count of three. 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1, 2, 3.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you. And one more. And today is also an opportunity for us to recognize the Employee of the Quarter, Christina Hibert. She's a lean clerk for fall 2013. I would like to invite Ms. Camelia Seguino, Finance Director, for the presentation of the Employee of the Quarter for fall 2013.
Good evening. Christina has been with the city for almost 15 years, 16 years to be more precise. She leads the Lean Division. She's a very valuable member of our team. She's been instrumental in implementing the new software NetAsset that we're acquiring to have all the Lean information online. So she's been helping us with that. She's very reliable, and despite some family setbacks recently, she put in the hours, and especially it's very demanding with the workload and raising 4 kids and 1 grandchildren.
Wow.
Mayor, council, and staff members, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful for this award. This reward, I'm sorry. Award. I'm kind of nervous. It's been a long time coming, 16 years. I'd like to thank Ms. Scott for, her recognition, and my UB team. They are very helpful and supportive over all these years. Thank you.
She doesn't get a check, but she gets a gift certificate.
Who are you?
I'm your second.
Okay, now, Tyler, please. Michael. Thank you. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Again, a big cheese on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Now, won't you bring your water on the opposite side? To the opposite side. One, two, three. Give me a cheese. Just in case, I always like to take 2. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Beautiful. Thank
Yes, we need to.
I've not seen a State of the Union address live in 15 years.
Really?
You would set a record.
All right. We need to set the record tonight. Mr. Manager, any city events?
Yes, Mayor, we have our city events announcements being made at this time.
Good evening, everyone, Mayor and Council. The events for the upcoming days, this coming Friday and every Friday, we have at Jazz at Mocha. We have Jazz at Mocha starting at 8 p.m. It's the last Friday of every month. This month, enjoy the sounds of South Florida Jazz Orchestra. Galleries are open the last Friday of every month from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. If you or your family is in need of health insurance, we remind you that the healthcare marketplace can be accessed at healthcare.gov. Enrollment is open through the end of March. Assistance is available to navigate the site and sign up for the health insurance coverage at North Miami City Hall or the North Miami Public Library. For times and dates and assistance, call the Office of the Mayor and Council at 305-895-9815. Tax season is here, and the City of North Miami offers 2 sites for community tax preparation assistance. The Volunteer Income Tax Assistance site, in partnership with the IRS, is offered at the Sunkist Grove Community Center on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. The AARP Tax Aid site is offered at the North Miami Public Library on Monday afternoons. Both sites are open next week and run through April. For more information, flyers are available in the lobby. Throughout the month of February, we will be honoring Black History Month. This year, we will pay tribute to the 50th anniversary of the Civil Rights Movement. The city will kick off the month of festivities with a poetry slam event on Friday, February 7th. For full listings of events, visit northmiamifl.gov. Thank you.
That's it, Mayor.
I think the kickoff is on Thursday, not Friday. It's on Thursday.
Thursday.
The kickoff will be on Thursday, not Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry. We did have a change this evening.
I apologize. That is true. We've had a recent change, and it is actually going to be next Thursday. Next Thursday, that's February 6th, starting at 5:30, and I hope you'll all come out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Citizen Forum is open. As you all are aware, Citizens Forum, anyone, any resident who wishes to speak have 2 minutes to do so on any topics that you would like.
My name is Sandy Baker Hoover. I live on Keystone Point. Oh, I'm the vice chair of the North Miami Quality Education Advisory Board. Kathy couldn't be here tonight. She is our chair because she's been ill, but I wanted to give you an update from our last meeting. We're still operating at a disadvantage because we only have 2 active members. We had a new one that was appointed who didn't come to the last meeting, and then we have another position that needs to be assigned because the person just hasn't been there for more than 6 months. So if Mayor and Council would give it some attention and make sure that we have 5 active members, we could move ahead and make some proposals as far as the education that's going on in the city of North Miami. We were delighted last month that we had Araida Mendez-Cartaya, the Assistant Superintendent of Intergovernment Affairs, Grants Administration, and Community Engagement, as our speaker at the meeting. And she did give us a proposal that I believe has been presented to Mayor and Council that we hope that you will find satisfactory and be able to act upon. It gives us a wonderful opportunity to have a first-class operation internationally in our community with a wonderful magnet program. And for those of you in the community and here in the audience, the next meeting of the North Miami Quality Education Advisory Board will be February the 10th, which is the second Monday, at the North Miami Senior High School Library at 3:30 in the afternoon. all members of the community are invited, and we urge you, if you have any interest in quality education in North Miami, to please come to that meeting. It's February the 10th, the second Monday, in the library at North Miami Senior High School. I don't know if any of you have any questions or not.
You asking for us to appoint our members?
Well, we only have 2 active members. Dr. Smith-Joseph was appointed, but then he didn't come to the next meeting. He came once. And then we have another member that's been absent. We should have a full complement of 5 people, and we don't. And we need at least 3 before we can pass any resolutions.
Mr. Clerk, don't we have any appointees? I thought all the boards were full.
That's incorrect, Mayor. There's, some of the boards are full, the appointments you guys did make, but some of the council members failed to make appointments to certain type of boards. So, for example, I think Councilman Scott Galvin is the only council member with the most boards filled, but I think he has 1 or 2 positions vacant. But with regards to, for example, the Quality Education Board, Councilwoman Steril, Councilman Bien-Aimé have an appointment to make, and Mayor Thunder, you have an appointment to make as well. You have 1 vacancy there. Now, with regards,
the appointment 3 months ago. What's happening?
you made several appointments 3 months ago, one of which was not the quality education appointment. And for example, so a lot of appointments, like for example, a lot of your appointments were made, but 1 or 2 of your appointments haven't been made, which is one is the quality education board. We know that for a fact. All the appointments that are made, we have minutes on those. But in the near future, well, whichever appointments, whenever a council member wants to make an appointment, they make the appointment during the council meetings.
We would appreciate it if you could follow through on that so we have a full complement and we can conduct business. Are there any questions?
Madam Mayor, through you to the city clerk, I know that Eddie Mulliner had asked to be appointed to the Quality Education Board. Did he turn in, Eddie Mulliner, okay.
No application from Eddie.
Okay.
And that's another important point, what you just brought up. The way the appointments work with an individual, like, all I do here is read the appointments and record them. With regards to managing the boards and things to that extent, that's what the board liaisons do. So when the council members receive an application from a person who wants to be appointed, for example, the application you receive, they make that appointment. But if they do not submit an application to either the council members or a staff at the clerk's office, the appointment can't be made because we have to verify their addresses.
Doug Heinmarsh.
Doug Heinmarsh is my appointee, and he has been appointed for the Doug Heinmarsh. That's 3 or 4 months ago.
That name's not familiar
He
to
wasn't
us.
appointed to the Quality Education Board,
As
Mayor.
well.
He was appointed, okay, we'll discuss
well.
that, but we have
Okay.
when he was appointed.
Okay.
He was appointed to several other boards you appointed him to.
Okay.
We would like for the people that are appointed to make a commitment to attend our meetings each month. They're from 3:30 until 5 o'clock the second Monday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mayor, Council, Kenneth Each, 776 Northeast 125th Street. The last week or so, we had a tragedy occur on 125th Street and Northeast 13th Avenue. A little boy was literally tortured to death. No good comes out of that. However, I just want to say how proud I was and am to be associated with the North Miami Police. Proud that I served there 27 years, but proud of the quality of people that you have in that department, namely Detective Reimer. I've dealt with that detective before on personal issues where I had identity theft, and not because I'm a former chief, but he got right to it and got those people put in jail. I saw him on television at the preliminary hearing, and I had people that called me from Key West and said how proud they were of that detective and his professionalism at that hearing. He did a great job, and we have a great police department here, and we are very, very fortunate. Usually you get the bad news or the complaints. Well, I just wanted to give you a positive note on our police department. Secondly, I walk during the day, and I walk on Biscayne Boulevard, and I happened to notice by Whole Foods, that street, 122nd Street. And it was beautifully designed by our city, landscaped magnificently, and it's such a pleasure to see that. And I think between the Parks Department and the Public Works Department, they deserve a great deal of credit for it. It looks great, first class, and we have every right to be proud of our employees. Thank you.
Thank you. Citizen forum is now closed. Do I have a motion for consent agenda?
So moved.
Anyone wishes to record a nay? All right. Mr. Clerk?
That's awesome. Proposed, tab D, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute an intergovernmental cooperation agreement in substantially the attached form between the Miami-Dade County Property Appraiser, the Miami-Dade County Tax Collector, and the city of North Miami for the collection of non-ad valorem special assessments levied within the incorporated area of the city of North Miami for providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Public hearing is now open. Public hearing is now closed. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Anyone wishes to record a nay?
Can I ask a question? When we passed this resolution, I didn't see anything about the fact that the county, Dade County was charging us 2% of the collection. And in the resolution, it's there. So that was not in our package. I'm not saying I wouldn't vote for it, but I would like to know what it's costing the city. In addition to the 4% discount people are entitled to now, there was nothing in our package saying exactly how much is our waste fee in gross and what is putting this with the county and charging. We're going to lose 4% potentially if the taxes are paid in November, and then now I see we're going to lose another 2% to the county for processing it. So could you give us those numbers as to what it's really costing us?
I believe my budget manager did work out those numbers. If he's here, I don't see him. Do you have the total number? The number I was given was approximately 300,000. That's the high end.
That's just to the county.
Yes,
That's not the potential 4% discount.
that includes everything.
Because I did some calculations. How many accounts are we looking at? I know we have about 20,000 homes.
We have about 22,000.
But we also have businesses that pay.
It's not applicable to businesses.
Okay, businesses don't pay the way. So we have 20,000. So I did a calculation. I thought that the county waste could come to approximately $100,000. So
That's on the low end. The high end, it could be as high as about 300,000.
So we budgeted a shortfall of 300,000 in our waste.
Well, as we do the budget into the upcoming year, we will. We would have to project that as a deduction.
Did we take that into consideration?
It's not going to take effect until next budget year.
That's not the point. It's going to cost, to do this, it's costing our city $300,000 in loss of revenue.
Is it 300 or maximum of?
Well, it's a definite minimum of 100,000 going to the county, from what, just a real quick calculation. So is it worth it to us to do this?
Staff is recommending it. There is a convenience to the customer by doing it that way. Everything's on the bill, on the tax bill. So it's
just as convenient as everything's on the water bill. So, I mean, I don't see a convenience to the citizens. I'm just looking at a big cost that I should have been aware of the 4%, potential 4% discount. Not everybody takes a 4%. Anybody with a mortgage does. I did not realize there was a 2% fee to the county. So,
sure. And it's because there's a collection aspect of it. So,
can we collect cheaper in-house doing that? I mean, that's a big chunk of money when we're not overflowing in money and we're trying to find every cent. Just giving away 100,000 plus an additional 200,000 doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Okay.
The concept was fine, but the money that it's costing us doesn't.
Is it the $300,000 yearly or is it at one time?
It's annually. because as if people pay on time, anytime that there's, when we get a lump sum of money like that from the county, they have a handling fee. I think that handling fee is reasonable compared to the benefit that it would have to putting it on the Avalon tax bill.
I heard you said the $300,000 is the high end. What is the low end?
100,000.
Okay, so where are we according to budget? I
would
know the
be-
budget manager is here since you were looking for
Yeah.
him. The budget director.
It would
is
be
here.
based upon if people pay early or if people pay late.
Anybody with a mortgage will be paying in November and taking the full 4% discount.
Right.
Yeah, and usually people goes by their paying tax through their mortgages.
Through their
So
mortgage
that's
company.
mean definitely we will have a $300,000 every year shortfall. I know the councilwoman asked a question. Can we actually do the collection instead of the county? Is there a possibility there?
No. The purpose of putting it on the tax bill, there's several benefits to that. One is that we, in any foreclosed situation, you know that you're going to get the money because the bank is going to pay it. So there's advantages on that end. So the purpose of putting it on the tax bill is for the county to collect it all at one time.
But who's gonna
Did
pay?
you-
I'm sorry. Who's gonna
No,
pay?
okay.
Who's gonna pay the $300,000? We're gonna pass it through the consumers, or the city's gonna pick it up?
Basically, when we do our budget, we just make budget adjustments to accommodate.
$300,000 every year.
Yes.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
may I ask staff to summarize on the record what this would do?
Can we have the budget manager here?
Sure. And I also invite the utility, the finance manager, director as well, to kind of give an explanation of what would take place on the bill.
Now, when we said 300,000 is really at the high end, that's assuming that 100% of the taxpayers do take advantage of the early payment.
May I ask staff to start from scratch with a summary, just 30 seconds of what
Sure.
this is for the people in the audience who haven't had the chance to review the agenda?
Sure. Currently, our sanitation bill is on the utility bill. It's $26 a month. So that's billed quarterly. Also, the stormwater. That would now, for the 12 months, 12 times 26, and the amount 12 times the stormwater bill will come off of the quarterly utility bill, and now it would appear on the tax bill.
We tried this 5 or 6 years ago, and it was roundly ripped apart by the public. They thought their utility bills were going down, but then when they got the large mortgage bill in the fall, they revolted and packed this room. Why have we changed? What has changed to make us want to go back to doing things that way?
Sure, we brought this item before council back in, I believe it was in December. It did pass. So now, being that this council passed it, this is just a formality to facilitate the agreement. This is what the county wants to enter into, the agreement to actually collect the funds.
And the other thing, Councilman, is that people who are renting, almost they are paying the taxes for the owners. It creates a problem. And you know all the homeowners association meetings that we have gone through regarding that water bill, and people not being able to understand the big issue on their water bill is the storm, the sanitation, that is part of it. And most of them don't comprehend the bill. It's always a political issue whenever there's elections is that water bill. It has been for the past 10 years.
And under Mayor Celestin, we had this exact same discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's been more than 5 or 6 years. Mayor Celestin was maybe closer to 10 years. But we did this exact same thing, the exact same reasoning, the exact same discussion. We moved it off the utility bill, we put it on the property bill, and I'm telling you...
It has been removed. I remember it didn't pass.
No,
Only the idea of putting it there was the entire issue.
It was passed, it was put on the property tax bill, and then that next year when everybody got their property tax bill, because what happens is, I don't know what the monthly charges are, but you add that cumulative, if it's $3,000 or whatever, everybody's mortgage bill is about to go up $3,000. And they're not going to complain at all until they get that bill in the fall, and they're going to hit the roof, and they're going to pack this room. And what we did, whatever it was, we reversed it and put it back to a monthly spread out. So I'm just sounding the warning. This is the exact same thing we did several years ago, and I predict it'll have the exact same consequence.
Mayor, just so that we're aware, this item is based upon the approval of the December 10th council meeting. It was tab G, as in golf. And based upon that being passed, we now have to present this. So I understand the concerns. These same concerns were raised at the December 10th council meeting.
Madam Mayor, may I add something? I know I was one of the people that actually voted for this item, but I was not under the impression that it was going to cost the city $300,000. Because if we think about the $26, the sanitation bill, if you multiply that by 12, that will give you about 300 something, close to $400,000. I mean $400. But for $400, because I am a homeowner, I will pay $400 at the end of the year. That's not, I can afford it. That's not even a problem for me to pay it all at once instead of paying $26 every month. But the problem that I have, if staff can give me a sort of like an accurate number, is for the city to actually paying $300,000 and we're not getting anything out of it. It's just not click.
And
hold on, Mr. Bien-Aimé, you don't have the floor yet.
Okay.
Let's listen to the finance director second.
I'm sorry, Mr. Manager, can I clarify something? The contract says up to 2%. It's not actually 2%. When I spoke with the county, they said usually it varies. It's the actual cost. The statute says actual administrative costs. And they have been charging most municipalities only 1%. There's only one entity that they charge the 2%. So most likely we will be charged 1%. The law allows them to go up to 2%. So it's 1%.
Which entity do they charge the 2% to?
I believe it's, I don't recall it. I don't really recall. It's, I'm sorry, I can look it up for you, but it's just one entity. When I called the county, they told me just one entity, maritime or some, it's not a city, it's not a municipal, it's not a school. Usually they charge 1%, but the law allows them to go up to 2%. The 300 that we're talking about is really the highest, the most, the maximum loss or budget fall that we can have if everybody pays on time. Now, our historical rate is not 100%, so it's below that. And then we also have to factor in the fact that by having the money up front at the beginning of the year, we can actually offset those costs, the budget fall. If we have the money and it's going to be in our bank, so it is going to be bearing interest, that can offset the potential, let's say, 200,000 or 150 loss that we'll have in the budget. So this is really, the 300 is really a number that is too high for me.
Okay, Councilman Bienebe, you wanted to ask a question?
City manager, right now, we are the one that collecting the utility bill, right?
That's correct, sir.
And we charge the residents an administrative fee.
No.
Right now.
There is an administration fee charge.
Okay.
Yes.
How much it is?
I have to ask the budget manager.
I believe the administrative fee right now is $12 for the administrative fee. The one thing to note,
$12 per year?
per bill.
Quarter.
Per bill, per quarter.
Bill, okay.
The one thing to note is, although we will be paying an additional 2%, and possibly if they pay their taxes early, right now, when we do this added on a tax roll, we are going to be outsourcing that service now. So we look at our utility billing department, and we can reduce costs that way, since we're going to have the county collecting the money now. So we can look at that as far as reducing the cost to offset the $300,000 if it is indeed that amount.
That was the
so we can lower our cost to make up for the cost and administrative costs.
That was the question that I was going to ask you. How much money do we spend in collecting as administrative fee in collecting those funds right now in our budget?
I don't have that total amount, but I will say that we are moving toward aggressively toward an automated system where we're going to be installing new meters. They're going to be read monthly. And they would be read electronically. So we will be cutting costs down, operation costs.
From the inside?
From the inside.
In order to cover
the direction and where we want to go at it. It will give us more accurate billing. It will give us the ability for this council, if you wanted to go monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly, it will give you a whole host of options. And we can get those bills out automatically very quick with the system that we're going toward. Moving the sanitation off of that bill, it's just another mechanism to offset it.
Meaning what, we're going to reduce our expenses
that's
the budget
the ultimate goal.
In order to cover the administrative fee that the county going to charge us in order to collect the utility for us.
Yes, sir. And the objective is to get more accurate bills out quickly, to catch leaks quickly, to provide a better service to our residents.
Are we going to charge them? You said $11 right now. We charge the residents, right?
$12.
$12. You're going to charge them 2% on top of that?
No.
It's going to stay at $12.
That cost will not be passed on. No.
Okay. Okay.
Very good.
So,
for the discussion?
Sure. Madam Mayor, I'm just confused. Am I wrong in my understanding? Are we not moving costs from this quarterly utility bill to the annual property tax bill?
You're moving the monthly payment?
Right.
Instead of the sanitation bill being on the water bill, the resident would pay it one time for the entire year, and it would be on the tax bill.
Okay. I just want to circle this date and highlight it. When this room is full of people in October, when they get their property tax bill, I just want to say we danced this dance before. It sounds great now. People are going to be furious when their bill goes up $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and they're being asked to pay it right before the holidays. It's going to happen. We did this before.
Can I ask?
May I say something?
I just want to, okay.
Well, it's going to go up $250, $259, I believe, is the waste charge, which is going to be added to the taxes. But the bills going out, this waste bill is a fixed expense, the stormwater is a fixed expense, so that just goes there. I don't see how it makes any difference or how it costs us any less. We're still going to be having to get a payment for the water or water utility bill. We still have to collect the money and disperse it. And if we have a separate county sending us money, we still have to deal with it there. I don't see how we're going to save administratively. I don't see how it's going to be any easier for us, because having a fixed amount on the bill every month is not going to mean a thing. It's not going to be any simpler. I think we're looking at a lot of extra expense.
Councilman Bienvenue.
Just a question. Do you know how many municipalities in the county are doing it like that? Like putting the...
Sure.
The most recent was Opa-locka, the most recent city who did that this year.
And Dade County, that's the way they do theirs as well.
Okay.
The west side.
Mr. Garland, do you know the answer? How many cities put sanitation? About?
Or give us some names of cities in...
Most of the city do. See,
the county right now.
See, the problem is that people who lives in unincorporated Dade, they always brag that they don't have the same problem that we have. Unless we take pleasure of using this for a political weapon, there is absolutely no reason for us not to do like Miami-Dade County has. And I don't see why the resident of the city of Miami, same way as the resident of the Miami-Dade County, they get it the same way. I don't understand why would it be a big issue when most of the city does it, the county do it, and it works perfectly. Except that people who gets their water bill, they know exactly how much water that they have waste for that they have used for the month, and this is what their bill is. I don't understand. I don't get why is it such a big issue when everyone else does it and it works perfectly for them.
What happened, here's what happens, and maybe we can fix this going forward. We did it and then didn't announce it to anybody.
Well, it
10
will be
months
announced.
went by, so maybe if you roll out some sort of education program and let people know what's going to happen, they won't be blindsided. But when we did it 8 years ago,
Surprise.
there was no education. We
Gotcha.
voted on it, and then people got a bill and were like, wait, why did my bill go up so high?
Gotcha.
So maybe we need to incorporate some sort of education program that lets people know this is going to happen.
Yeah, I believe it will be for the benefits of the residents and also of the city. And that $300,000 we're talking about, this is just the worst case scenario. Is that correct? Ms.
Correct.
Bueno?
This is very hypothetical.
Okay, we need to move on. Anybody wishes to record a no?
No.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, tab E.
Item passes 3-2 for the record, Mayor. Tab E, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement in substantially the attached form between the city of North Miami and King Engineering Associates, Inc., as the consultant for the provision of water resource, water supply, engineering services for the design, permitting, and grant assistance for the Arch Creek North, Arch Creek South Drainage Basins Improvement Project to mitigate flooding within the area bounded on the north side by Northeast 135th Street, on the south side by Northeast 126th Street, on the west side by West Dixie Highway, and on the east side by Arch Creek Road, in accordance with request for qualifications number 38-09-10, continuing professional architectural and engineering services in the amount not to exceed $199,952, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Public hearing is now open. Public hearing is now closed. Do I hear a motion?
Move
Motion.
the item.
Second for discussion.
All right. This is the
Go ahead.
engineering. Okay, let's start discussion. Councilwoman Keys, any?
Madam
Comments?
Attorney, do we need to disclose communications? Because I did meet with the applicant, so I just want to
Okay. for the record,
disclose that I
thank you.
met with the applicant this week.
You have. Okay. Councilman Galvin?
Thank you. I'll disclose that I had a phone call with the applicant this week. And if I understand correctly, he was one of several dozen contractors that were approved by this council a couple of years ago to perform this work. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
And the project we're bidding right now is along the Northeast 16th Avenue Arch Creek Canal, or whatever that canal is named, to look into alleviating some flooding there?
That's correct.
Okay. I know that the county was talking about doing a project on 16th Avenue right there at 131st Lane, because I had several constituents complain about it. Does this affect that project getting done at all, or is this in addition to that project?
This project involves the architect, the engineering of it, to explore it and see what the issues are and to come up with a plan of action. Once the engineering firm identifies the areas that need to be upgraded or repaired, then that scope of work, they would design that scope of work, and then it goes out to bid for a contractor to come in and make those repairs. So of course, they will coordinate with Miami-Dade County and the other surrounding municipalities as to what they're doing to ensure that the impact is, our work is not impacting theirs, and so forth.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Sterling.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was approached a couple of minutes ago by the council who represent the firm. Do we already have the money, or after the work, that's when we're going to find out where we're going to get the money from?
We have the funds.
Think we do have the funds.
Yes, we
because
do
I
have the
remember
funds.
this is something we have been talked about for a long time ago.
Yes.
If it's not more than a year.
It was
Is it the same?
Several years ago, through the mayor councilwoman, the city did a comprehensive plan looking at flooding.
I remember.
There were 20 basins. We prioritized those basins. We have so far done up to 12. This is basin number 13. We do them in phases. Phase 1 was basins 1 through 12, based upon their severity, and 13 through 20 is starting phase 2.
So how much money do we have for this that actually allocated to this project?
200,000 is what.
No,
is
I'm not talking about for that specific work.
Mhm.
I'm saying how much money in total for the how much money was the grant?
Annually.
Oh, it's actually not a grant. It's actually stormwater utility fees, the same non-ad valorem taxes that was voted on recent.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
that's
I
the
just repeat
fees.
from the councilman.
Okay.
I apologize,
All right.
which I know what you're talking
This is
about.
the stormwater utility fee.
It comes from the enterprise fund.
It's an
Yeah,
enterprise
that was-
fund, the
that-
stormwater utility fund. That's correct.
Okay.
Councilman Bien-Aimé, oh, are you done? You okay? Councilman Bien-Aimé?
I'm okay.
No questions? No questions, Councilman?
No.
Everything is clear? Okay. My only concern is this, I mean, as I've shared with the manager and also Mr. Ghani, is that I would like to see a wider choice of firms, whether it's for engineer purpose or what might have you that the city has to offer, because we need to open doors to new businesses. We need to open doors to those vibrant firms that wants to participate. We don't want to stay in the same old people, not old, I'm not talking as old, but I'm talking about, we need to move on. We need to open doors. We need to
We need a new
revamp.
RFQ. We've been
We
saying
need to
that for
revamp
years.
what the city has
You
as a
guys.
list. We need to open doors and let people know, hey, there are business to be conducted in the city. They have all interest not only to move to the city, but also to come and apply and do business with us. That's all my concern is.
I said we need a new RFQ
May I?
We
to
need a new
to reopen it.
There we go.
That's
Yes,
what we need.
and Mr. Mark Tulik is working on that. It goes out by according to state law. So once we do it, the list normally is good for a couple of years.
Yeah, but we can reopen.
Sure, we are going to reopen it at your request. We're going to reopen it.
And how long have we had that list?
That list
Since
is going
2010.
into its third year.
Third year.
It's
Third
only
year,
3
okay.
years old.
Not that old. It's okay.
Right, so it was approved by prior council to be a 3-year list. But we understand that it's this council's desire
I
to
think we should
scratch
open it as
Not
we go.
scratch,
As we
like
go, as
we
people
did.
come and
Sure.
apply and wants to
Sure.
conduct business with the city, we need to open it. We don't have to close it for 3 years or 4 years or a year. We need to keep it open.
Sure.
Okay, Councilwoman, you wanted to make a
No,
comment?
no,
Okay.
no, no.
Anyone wishes to record a no? On tab E? Okay.
Just for the record, motion was made by Councilman Bien-Aimé, seconded by Councilman Galvin. Item passes 5-0. Tab F, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, supporting the Florida Department of Transportation recommended traffic rerouting and roadway improvement project along portions of West Dixie Highway, Northeast 6th Avenue, and Northeast 125th Street, further authorizing the city manager and city attorney to execute the off-system construction and maintenance agreement in substantially the attached form between the City of North Miami and the State of Florida Department of Transportation to delineate the responsibility for the construction and maintenance of project roadway improvements, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Public hearing is now open.
Can we let
Public hearing is closed. Do I have a motion to move?
I wasn't,
on tab
and
F?
I understand we had the presentation the other day on site, and I was not there, and I know the mayor was there, and Councilwoman Keys was there. I will follow them on the decision tonight.
Is there a motion?
To
Is there a
move
motion
it.
to move it?
Yes, I make a
Okay,
motion.
I'll second it. Do we have a presentation? Go ahead, sir.
Honorable Mayor and Council, I present Harold this June.
Make it short, because we
Sure.
had a lengthy one before.
Yes, yes. District Transportation Development Engineer and Ms. Letty Leon, the District Safety Engineer on the project.
Madam Mayor, Council, City staff, good evening. We're here to do a quick presentation. I'm not going to go into details. I know we have a short timeline. I'd like to introduce Ms. Lady Leon, who's the District Safety Engineer. She's going to be here to give you a quick presentation on the safety study that we did along 125th and 6th Avenue. Ms. Ladies, 5 minutes.
Good evening. Today I'm presenting the safety study investigation process, and I'm also going to be sharing our findings from a safety study along the segment of Northeast 125th from 5th Avenue to 7th Avenue. As part of our presentation, I'm going to go over the project background, our safety study investigation process, our findings from our crash analysis, why we put together collision diagrams, how do we determine possible contributing factors of crashes, our initial recommendations, the evaluation of initial improvements, recommendation of recommended safety improvements, how we evaluated impacts of those proposed improvements, how we put together a project cost and the benefits to the community. The segment of Northeast 125th from 5th Avenue to 7th Avenue has been identified as a high crash segment since 2007. It is ranked 36 on 2011 high crash list. This segment is also within the top 5% segment with severe crashes in the district. As part of this project, we had extensive coordination. We held 3 public meetings, 11 briefings with elected officials and city staff, 3 presentations to council and committees, and 8 community meetings. We also have investigated 7 citizen requests within the last 5 years. As part of our investigation process, the study is initiated from the high crash list report listing. That's how we identify the locations that we're going to be investigating. Once we identify the location, we extract the latest 3 years of crash data. After that, we review each of the police report in order to understand how crashes are occurring, where crashes are happening, and the time of each crash. We also develop collision diagrams in order to identify clusters to determine whether crashes are happening along the segment or whether they're concentrated at particular intersections. We also conduct a statistical analysis, and what it is we compare the crash frequency along the segment with similar locations with similar traffic volumes to determine what's high and what's low. We also determine, based on the review of police report, we determine possible contributing factors of crashes. After that, we conduct field reviews to confirm those possible factors, and we develop countermeasures in order to try to reduce those crashes. We also assess the operational impacts of proposed improvements. We want to make sure we not only reduce crashes, but we also do not impact the operation of our intersections. We also adjust the concept based on the impacts to businesses and the public. We like the public's input because they have the local knowledge of the area, and that's very important to us in order for us to refine our concept. We put together a cost estimate, and we finally determine our safety benefits. What type of information we review in the police report? As part of the police report, what we review is we look at the time that crashes are occurring. We also look at the location. When we first pull the data from our database, we want to make sure that we locate each crash at the proper location. We also look at the crash narrative to understand how the crash occurred. And we finally look at the crash diagram. As part of the crash analysis, we reviewed the latest 3 years of crash data. For this particular project, we reviewed it 2009, 2010, and 2011 crash data. Also, again, as part of the police report review process, we locate crashes and we try to understand roadway conditions at the time of its crash. As part of this study, a total of 340 crashes were reported for the study segment. Out of those 340, 29 crashes occurred outside the study limits, and also 43 crashes involved residents of the area. We were also tasked at the last meeting to compare the crash frequency, the annual crash frequency in our database with City of North Miami. We obtained a traffic memorandum from North Miami Police Department, and as you can see, the crash frequency, it's in line with the crash frequency that we have in our database. As part of our process, we put together collision diagrams. Again, the intent of collision diagram is to understand whether crashes are occurring at intersections or if they're spread out along the segment. We also, as part of our collision diagrams review, we identify critical approaches, the crash types with the greatest frequency. As you can see, in the 3 years, you can clearly see a cluster of crashes at the intersection of 125th and 6th, and 125th and 7th, and at 5th. The leading crash types identified as part of this project include sideswipe crashes, rear-end crashes, angle crashes, and left-turn crashes. The findings from our safety study include sideswipe crashes. There were reported a total of 84 sideswipe crashes, and sideswipe crashes were mostly attributed on northbound approach. They were associated with vehicles on the inside through lane intending to access West DC Highway from the inside through lane. Also, crashes on southbound approach were associated with vehicles intending to make a left from the inside through lane. Rear end was also the next leading crash type, and they're mainly concentrated on eastbound and westbound approaches, and they were attributed to the stop and go condition and also the lack of left turn lane at Northeast 7th Avenue. Angle crashes were associated with red light running crashes. All this information is obtained from the review of the police reports and from field reviews. Also, pedestrian and bicycle crashes were associated with pedestrian crossing at non-designated locations. This diagram, what it shows is the type of crashes the leading crash types. Again, crashes on northbound approach. This is the intersection of Northeast 125th Street and Northeast 6th Avenue. And crashes on northbound approach, sideswipe crashes on northbound approach include vehicles trying to, as they go through the intersection, they're trying to change lane from the inside lane in order to access West DC Highway. Crashes on southbound approach on West 60 Highway again involve vehicles on the inside through lane trying to make a left also at the intersection of 6 and West 60 Highway. Crashes on southbound approach again involved vehicles driving on the inside lane trying to make a left. Again, what's causing all that friction is the wide pavement area. rear-end crashes again are happening on eastbound and westbound approaches.
So we'll stop right here because we have a lot more because we have planned for 15 minutes. But I think one of the key issues is when we went out there yesterday and we actually saw these movements occurring and we saw the near misses where individuals were braking too early or they were trying to weave in and out and try to get into their lanes. So the data does show that what the North Miami City Police had matches more or less what the department has. And we strongly approve the means that we're showing currently in terms to resolve this. If there's any specific questions related to this project, I'll be happy to answer it, or our team will be.
Thank you. It's open for discussion. Councilwoman Keys?
Yeah.